The Philadelphia Phillies make the trip down to Hotlanta, baby, to face their division rival Atlanta Braves, who are 37-26, while the Phillies are barely over 500 with a 32-29 record so far this season. On the mound for the Braves, veteran Felix Hernandez, of course, longtime Mariner, making the start for the Braves here today, and he has actually been pretty good for them. 3.5 ERA and 1.29 WHIP, 62 strikeouts and 66 innings, I should say, so far on the season for him. Now Bryce Harper leading off the game in the first inning, and right off the bat, Felix is having a rough day. A moonshot home run right there for Harper. Almost hitting that one out of the Braves' new stadium here that I believe is still SunTrust Park. Almost 500-foot home run there for Harper at 495 feet. The very next batter, Andrew McCutchen, would be dribbling one past the middle infield of the Braves for the second hit in the first two batters for the Phillies. Now this would be a common trend that would continue very early on, as JT Realmuto right back up the middle. So 2 runners on, and the Braves still yet to record an out. Now Hoskins, the fourth batter up for the Phillies, and he's hitting one deep in the right center, similar spot that Harper hit it earlier, but not nearly as deep. So the Phillies, an early 4 spot. All 4 batters that come up to the plate so far in the first have scored, and the Braves still yet to record an out until Gregorius finally hits one into the shift there to Albies. So 1 away finally for Felix Hernandez in the first inning. Zach Wheeler on the mound for the Phillies today. 77 innings pitched, only 53 strikeouts in those 77 innings, but still a 1.18 WHIP and a 3.27 ERA. So Wheeler, kind of delivering the performance that is expected of him as a big starting pitcher free agent, and he started off the opposite of Hernandez, getting Acuna, I believe, there to strike out, and then Freeman to ground out to Kingery at second. So a very quick inning for Wheeler, especially compared to Hernandez. Adam Hazley starting off the second inning with a base hit. So Hernandez again struggling in here in the second against the Phillies at bottom of the order. Next batter, Zach Wheeler. He's up and he's bunting down the first baseline. Freeman tries to make the play at second, but the speedy Hazley is already there. So again, they had an opportunity to get an out, but then again it does not work out. But McCutchen would line out to a jumping Albies, saving that one from getting into the gap. And then Realmuto come up and ground one to Albies. So Hernandez, a little bit of luck there to get out of that one. Allowed some hard hit balls that just couldn't find the gaps like they did in the first inning. And then here, Wheeler striking out Acuna. So actually he did not strike him out last inning. But then Tyler Flowers, the Braves power hitting catcher, would get them on the board here in the bottom of the second inning with a 2-run home run. Not a 2-run home run, a solo shot with 2 outs is what I really meant to say. Then here Hernandez would come up to the dish himself, and Wheeler would walk him. So with 1 out, Hernandez would get on, and then he would then move over to second on a grounder. And then Markakis would hit this one just past the reach of the jumping Gregorius, and the very slow-footed Hernandez would be able to get in to home and give the Braves their second run of the day. Marcell Ozuna, the new Braves acquisition, he'd be going down on a slider outside of the zone, chasing that one. Phillies back up all the way, jumping to the top of the 5th here, and he would be beating the shift, hitting one right down the right field line on the ground, kind of inside outing that ball a little bit. So getting on with 2 outs in the inning for the Phillies. Now Gregorius, he'd be up next for the Phillies in the top of the 5th, driving one up the middle, and the diving Swanson at short would be able to stop it from getting to the outfield, maybe preventing Hoskins from scoring, but nothing would do in the inning anyway. That would also do it for Hernandez's day, as Phillies legend Cole Hamels would take the mound for the Braves next. Pretty good for them actually so far, 3.7 ERA in 66 innings, but here he is allowing Segura to immediately jump on him, getting a double into the gap on him and scoring too. So Hamels not doing very well, at least not off to a good start against his former Philly team, despite his success in the season. Now Swanson up with a runner on first. He is doubling now into the gap, same spot that Segura hit a double to. Runners coming around, but no one would score on the play, as there'd be runners on second and third. Now, Albie's up here for the Braves. He is lining one slowly past Kingery. 1 run to score, and then the throw would just be late from Harper in right field. So 2-runner score, cutting the Phillies' lead down to 1 run, and then Wheeler just struggling here. A non-competitive pitch to Markakis there, which would bring Acuna up after a Freddie Freeman out, and he would walk. So the bases are loaded for the Braves in the 5th inning here. But Ozuna would be up next, and he would be frozen by a fastball up and in, barely hitting the strike zone. So Wheeler showing some good control there after struggling. So for the inning, Shane Green, a good reliever for the Braves, would be up next. ERA barely over 3 in 44 innings so far this season, but he would walk Hazley to start off the top of the 6th inning. Now Wheeler back up at the plate. Of course, he had that bunt kind of single earlier in the game, and here he is also doing some damage with the bat, hitting that one down into left field, getting down past Ozuna, and then the speedy Hazley would get into third base there. Now Harper, the number 1 hitter for the Phillies on the day, sharp single in the center field, scoring Hazley in that play. So now 2 runners on for the Phillies, and it would later turn into bases loaded after a walk, but Realmuto would hit one deep in the center, which would easily score the run from third, which is the pitcher Wheeler, which would give the Phillies and their 8th run of the game, and Wheeler actually kind of taking his time there, made a closer play than it had to be. And then Hoskins, he would dribble one up the middle, and that would score a runner from second. So Phillies get their 9th run in the 6th inning. So Phillies kind of stringing some more hits together in the 6th like they did in the 1st. And then veteran reliever Mark Melancon would be next for the Braves. He's been very good for them so far this year in 38 innings. ERA barely over 1, 38 strikeouts in 38 innings. So very good for them. Gregorius would be the batter he would face, and Gregorius would be lining that one into left field, barely getting over the fence for a ground rule double, hitting off the top of the wall and then going over. So the Phillies extend their lead to 10 runs, and then here the runner would be out, immediately taking home. Interesting move by Hoskins, but of course we are out by quite a bit. Tyler Flowers would be the one leading off in the bottom of the 6th, and he would be striking out in the top of the 6th, or in the bottom of the 6th as well. Just looking there. Now Johan Camargo, he's up for the Braves. Wheeler getting another strikeout there, so it looked like he was maybe kind of down in the previous inning, but came through 2 strikeouts in what probably is his last inning. But then Jay Bruce hitting a no-doubt home run right there, pinch hitting for the Phillies, and even the graphics team was having trouble keeping up with that one, barely getting them out before he slammed the first pitch out of the ballpark there. Edgar Garcia, the young right-hander of the Phillies, who has been very good for them so far, would take over for Wheeler in the 7th and striking out the first batter he would face there, but then would allow Albies to hit a home run on a ball that he just frankly left over the heart of the plate. And you can't do that to a hitter like Albies, because he will hammer those mistakes every single time if you leave it over the plate. Vince Velasquez would then come on for the Phillies. He's been pretty good in his reliever role so far this year. 23 strikeouts in 21 innings, ERA 4.5, but his FIP is better than that. Ozuna would be a batter he would face in the 8th inning, and he would not do anything, and neither would the Braves in the bottom of the 8th inning, as he would pitch a clean bottom of the 8th. And Darren O'Day on the mound now for the Braves, and honestly I did not realize he was even still in the big leagues, and he might not be for long after a no-doubt home run from Andrew McCutchen, launching that one in the left center. And the Phillies just kind of patting the lead now. I mean, it's not a very close game, but they do pick up their 12th run of the day, and then Gregorius would be up a few batters later, the 5th hitter in the lineup, and he would go deep against Darren O'Day. Not as much of a no-doubt home run, but still a low line drive in the left center, and that would score 2. So the Phillies extending the lead 14-5. Dansby Swanson would be up in the bottom of the 9th against the Phillies, and he would hit one that would just keep on going into the Braves bullpen. So they are able to get a run back, but of course Velasquez, working with a huge lead, would have no problem handling the Braves for the rest of the game, as Markakis flies that one into center. So the Phillies pick up a win against the division leader, the NL East leader, Atlanta Braves, kind of solidifying their spot as a team in the wildcard hunt, and a team that's very close behind the Braves. The Phillies getting their 33rd win of the season, the Braves having 37. So that will do it for this episode of the Phillies franchise. So thank you guys for watching. Do not forget to subscribe and like, comment, show any way of your support, because I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next episode.